Thank you, Debbie. So for those of you that don't know, Dr. Debbie is a chiropractor and an acupuncturist, but she is also our associate minister in training here at the Unity of Gulfport, and we love and appreciate her and all that she's bringing to that, to our table. Yes. So today the message is living in an awakened heart, and that song captured that so fully, didn't it? That we each have our own hands, and yet we reach for each other in friendship and kindness, and they become God's hands, neighbor to neighbor. Nothing glows brighter than the heart awakened to the unseen light of love within it. That's a quote from Guy Finley, who's a spiritual teacher and philosopher. And what do we mean when we say we want to live an awakened life or live with an awakened heart? To live an awakened life is to live in the now, to live in the present moment, to be present in as many moments as we are able. You know, Eckhart Tolle teaches that to be enlightened is to live in that present, that awareness of the present. And sometimes we only can grab a fleeting second of that, a fleeting half a moment of that. But as we become awakened, we find that the time between those moments of awareness grows shorter. We have longer moments of awareness and shorter time in between those moments. My grandmother was my first teacher about living in the now. Although she was, my papa was a minister, but a Pentecostal minister. So my mama certainly didn't teach it in a new thought philosophy way at all. She would say so many times, I heard her say in my life, don't fret about the past and don't worry about the future. Don't fret about the past and don't worry about the future. Simple, yet so profound. Coming from a woman who was half Cherokee, half Scottish, like so many people in the mountains, in the Appalachian Mountains of western North Carolina and northeast Tennessee, where so many Highlanders settled. And so she was half Cherokee and half Scottish. And her Cherokee mother died when she was a small girl, when she was 6 or 7. And then my great-grandfather married again. And he married a white woman, and they had children. So my grandmother grew up being a helper and in some ways a servant to her step family, to her stepbrothers and sisters and her stepmother. And they teased her and called her dirty little Indian so much of her life that she was not proud to be Cherokee until much later in life, when the Cherokee chief invited her to be part of a ceremony where the city of Kingsport, where I'm from and lived all my life, gave back land that was sacred land to the Cherokee, and they gave that land back in a ceremony to the tribe, and it became a park within the city. And the Cherokee principal chief came over to accept that in ceremony. And he asked my grandmother to be with him. And as she walked across the swinging bridge to go across to Long Island, which is the real Long Island that we gave back to the Cherokee, that was the first moment, I think, in her life that she was proud to be who she was. Don't fret about the past, and don't worry about the future. What wisdom she gave me. But it took me a lifetime to truly hear those words that I heard so often. It took me a lifetime to truly hear them and understand what they meant. The past is gone, and we can't undo it, but we can learn from it. The future holds the capacity for freedom and dignity no matter what. And we will be our best self by being present in the moment without worry or fear of what that future is. I count Eckhart Tolle as one of my honored teachers and mentors. Even though I never met him in person and haven't yet, I might still. But I've read so many of his books, listened to his books that he reads himself, watched him on video. And he teaches us to live more consciously, teaches us to not be in opposition of what is in the present moment, to not be in opposition of what is in the present moment. He says, accept each moment as if you had chosen it, even if it's something you don't want to go through or it's a challenge to go through. Accept it as if you chose it and walk through that. That's when we are truly defined, when we can do that. And that brings a new consciousness within us. Living in the present without resisting is what eliminates stress in our life. And it allows space to awaken the heart. Because we can't have an awakened heart if we're all stressed out and anxious. We can't have an awakened heart. We have to find that place where we can allow the present moment to be without resisting. So I think we all benefit from less stress in our life, health-wise, spiritually, emotionally. So let me say that again. Living in the present without resistance is what eliminates stress in your life and what allows you space to live from an awakened heart. It's our mission here at the New Thought Community of Gulfport to inspire and support a positive path for spiritual living through practical application of spiritual principles. And I try to give you spiritual tools, practical spiritual tools you can use in your life with every message, every Sunday. And once you have those tools, you level up. You level up emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Your awakening depends on what you experience and what you put into it. You have the tools. You have teachings, you have meditation, you have crystals, you have yoga, you have affirmations, you have mala beads to say your prayers and affirmations with. You have tools. Do you place them in your life right out in the open? And do you use them every day? Do you have a sacred space in your house where you place your tools, where you use them? Or do you put them away, forgotten in the tool shed? Do you choose to use them daily? Or take them out only for an occasional project? Or do you let them just gather dust out there in the tool shed? The more you choose, now see, if you've been here more than today, you know that's a common theme with me. It's a consistent condition of life. It's your choice. You get to choose. You choose every day in every way how you want your life manifest. The more you consistently choose to use the tools, the more you will find yourself changed, and then your life will change. Everything that exists in this 3D world started from source. Our world originates within our heart, with source. Allowing our heart to communicate with our mind and with others is how we express and how source expresses through us. Intelligence of the heart is experiencing that part of ourself that is universal, that part of ourself that is connected to every other person and all that is. One love, one heart. When the heart awakens, It doesn't matter what religion we are, what race we are, what class we are. We awaken to a love for our fellow human, even if we never met them. And that doesn't necessarily happen naturally. Some of us are raised to only love those that are close to us, to be tight-knit. If you grew up in the Appalachian Mountains, you know you keep things close to home. Family business is family business, not to be shared with anybody. Isn't it? Yes. But we must awaken our heart, and in that awakening, we expand the ripple. We go within, we develop ourselves, heal the wounds of the heart caused in this life and through ancestral trauma. As we heal, we are then ready to expand. Just like my grandmother, she had some ancestral trauma going on when she was called a dirty little Indian by her own brothers and sisters. Dirty little Indian. And in Carnegie Hall, I spoke about 3 years ago, and they asked me to speak about the suicide among Native American children. So suicide rate among Native American children ranging from 9 to 21, so the youth of all the tribes, is 3 times greater than any other racial or ethnic group in the world. And I have to think, and in my talk, I said, what can a 9-year-old child have that is so pressing that they have no other choice but to take their life? It has to be ancestral trauma. It has to be generational trauma. And I spoke about how in 1831, the United States took the Cherokee and displaced them from their lands and marched them to Oklahoma on what is now called the Trail of Tears. And over 30,000 Cherokee died in that march and that journey. Just imagine, in the Native American tradition, we know that we affect the lives of 7 generations. Well, guess what? This generation is the 7th generation from that Trail of Tears. So just think of the prayers from the people walking that Trail of Tears for their descendants to not have to go through this for 7 generations. For 7 generations. It's still trauma. It's still drama in the lives of those children and those youth. For they have been displaced from their ancestral lands, placed in unknown places, and many of them were encouraged not to keep their cultural beliefs and their spiritual beliefs. They were expected and encouraged to develop the white man's religion and give up their spiritual practices as heresy. So no wonder they're lost. They have no connection to who they truly are in that ancestral DNA that's in our root chakra. Each and every one of us have that. So that's what my prayer is for the youth of the tribes, that they can connect once again to nature, connect once again to their ancestral spiritual practices, and know that it's good. Yes, go to a modern church, and yes, still embrace who you are and that cultural spiritual practice. And ancestral trauma can be healed through our heart awakening. We are connected to the heart of humanity when we awaken our heart with unity consciousness. Awakening the heart, living from the heart. Maybe you say, Reverend Kimberley, how do I do that? How do I do that? What is it? When do I do that? Living from my heart, awakening my heart. You know, when you're driving, when I'm driving home to the mountains to see my sons and my grandsons, and I clear that curve at the top of the mountain going from North Carolina to Tennessee, I come over that mountain, it's called Sam's Gap. I come over that mountain, and oh, the vista that lays before me from the top of that mountain. It takes your breath away. There is no thought around that. It's all heart. And just as here, when you're walking maybe on the boardwalk through the sand dunes, and then you open up, the view opens up and you see the beach and the sea. Maybe you're hiking. Maybe you're hiking in the mountains or hiking out in the streams, and all of a sudden you're standing in front of a beautiful waterfall, or that beautiful spring opens up and you see the water bubbling up, and it's cool and it's clean and it's beautiful. Those are heart-opening moments. Those are moments when we put aside that vast stream of thinking, all of our thoughts that are always bubbling up, always right there waiting to overtake us. We stop and we look at the beauty. We feel the beauty. You are awakening your heart. When you are inspired, maybe painting, being creative, writing, dancing, in that moment you are in your heart. No thought, just abandon and feeling. It's natural in moments like those to lose ourselves in our heart. It's effortless. And maybe from day to day, we have to work on it a bit. Consciously shift to the heart. When we experience negativity, like maybe someone yelling at you, fussing at you, somebody disrespecting you, or when you're facing a challenge, we have to intentionally shift to experience the moment in the heart. From the heart. To be loving and compassionate. It's being present in the now. It's a practice you may choose. Choose to consciously shift to an awakened heart. Or you might choose to just let yourself go on autopilot and stay in your ego. But remember, when you are in your ego, you are edging God out of your heart. Is that where you want to be? You choose from that awakened heart to respond rather than react. And you choose to be more compassionate. You choose to be more loving. Even when we have to make the hard choice, a difficult decision, we can choose to do it from an awakened heart rather than from ego. As we consistently shift into that awakened heart space, the choice becomes easy, and the loving, compassionate response becomes more automatic. The more we do it, the more we're in it, the more we are that. I spoke of tools earlier, tools out in the open or forgotten in the tool shed. What are those tools for opening the heart? The greatest tool for opening the heart is gratitude. Gratitude, compassion, love. As you commit to living life with an awakened heart, you will find that on occasion, you will find someone who's not living from an open heart. You will encounter someone who's just not in that space with you. And maybe you, without judgment, will pause, become the observer, and say, what is the unity consciousness way to embrace this person and this situation? because it can be a challenge. How can I find a solution? Don't depend on the other person who's not in an awakened heart to come up with a solution you have to live with. How can I find a solution that is heart-based, heart-centered? And maybe you recognize that the person doesn't have the tools you have. Maybe their tools are forgotten in their tool shed. And you immediately feel in your heart and shift into compassion. Get into unity consciousness. And you know what you can do? You can stop. I know I've talked to you about that before. S-T-O-P. Stop what you're doing. Take a breath. Open your heart. And if needed, pivot and step. Change the direction. Don't push. Don't pull. Stop. Bam. Then you're in unity consciousness. Just stop. Stop what you're doing. Take a breath. Open your heart. And pivot and step when needed. It's a great practice. It's a great practice to get yourself into unity consciousness. And the more you do it, the easier it is. It's a great tool for clarity and for giving yourself the space to awaken your heart. Give yourself that space. Find your own way. You are a divine child of God. You are unique, individual, perfectly and wonderfully made by your Creator, just as you are. Find your way to shift into that unity consciousness. Maybe your way is to dance. Maybe it's to meditate. Maybe it's to sing or to garden. Get your hands in the dirt. Maybe it's to write. Maybe it's to organize. Well, you know, somebody's got to do that for us. I guess that's not me. I love it when somebody comes over and organizes me. I can keep it that way, but I need somebody to do that for me to start with. But whatever way you express is right and perfect. Just always do it from your heart. Tools, they are important. Use the tools that resonate with you. The tools you can display out in the open. Keep present in your life every day. Think of what those tools are that you can keep in the open and not hide away. Those are the tools that will keep you in your heart space, whatever that is for you. The possibilities are infinite and the tools are limitless, and your resources will never be exhausted. In Scripture, in Isaiah 58, assures us, you'll be like a well-watered garden, a gurgling spring that never runs dry. So dance as if no one is watching. Love as if you cannot be hurt. Spin as if your well will never run dry. And dream as if there are no limits, because there are no limitations when we talk about connections from an awakened heart. When your heart is open, when you love as if you could never be hurt, you understand that everything is always working for your highest and your greatest good, all the time. All the time. When your heart is awakened, you have the ability to look at everything from a divine perspective and know that God is present in everyone and everything. You perceive the divine plan in any situation, even when it's difficult. You live in harmony with yourself and in harmony with all those around you. As you awaken your heart, you will activate your aura, your own personal energetic field around you. It's like if you ever watch an alien movie or something and they've got a force field out there and things come and they just bounce off. Get close and bounce off. You'll have that. That's your aura. Your aura is that. It is your own personal energetic field, and it's around you all the time. It's spinning, and it's always moving. It begins in your heart. It begins in your heart, and it spirals out. Activate it. We reconnect our brain to our heart through our third eye. We reconnect, we realign, we open. We use our mouth to create alpha waves. Fill your aura with alpha waves. That's the energy of joy and bliss. Alpha waves. Babies and small children, they have so many alpha waves. They live in a constant state of alpha waves. Alpha waves are all around them. Their aura is filled with alpha waves. They are always screeching with the light. I mean, to where you just want to cover your ears sometimes. They're just screeching. Woo! And if you have small children in your life, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's an alpha wave energy. They're creating it with their mouth, showing the joy and the bliss. And you know, they live in that until we teach them not to. And as we become adults and we mature, we get so smart. We get too smart for our own good because we stop creating. We stop using those alpha waves. Why? Alpha waves are responsible for increased intelligence, for improved memory, for alertness, and for creativity. Now, why do we deprive ourselves of that? When we can create them every day with our mouth. We can create. We choose, and we have the power to create those alpha waves every day. And yet we choose not to. We choose not to. That's one of the things, the Cherokee Morning Song. And if you're here for the first time, that's what that song was we sang at the beginning. That's what the Cherokee Morning Song is all about. It is simply a song in Cherokee, and the English words translate to, I am of the Great Spirit. That's all it says over and over. I am of the Great Spirit. I am of the Great Spirit. And with those alpha waves every morning, creating joy, creating bliss, creating harmony with each other, because the Cherokee women sing that song in the round down by the water, down by the river, that is, as my grandmother would say, that is living water, that is moving water. They sing that song with their mouth and create alpha waves to begin the day. What a great way to start the day. So if you sing in the shower to the Cherokee Morning Song, yay, I'm so proud of you, because so many of you tell me you do that. So laughter, alpha breathing, giggling in delight creates alpha waves. Don't let anybody discourage you or embarrass you to not laugh, to not giggle. Doesn't it feel great to laugh, a big belly laugh, and to giggle? Creating those alpha waves will reconnect your pineal gland and your pituitary chakra, open up your third eye, and activate your halo. Did you know you have one? A halo? We all do. All humans do. And you've probably seen pictures of Jesus and Buddha that are depicted with a halo around them. The Mother Mary with a halo around her head. That's a halo we all have. We create it with our alpha waves. We activate it with our alpha waves. And the more you activate the alpha waves and the more you activate your aura, you will notice you are more intuitive. You're more psychic and more awakened. And here's the secret. You'll be more attractive with that halo. I promise you. The more frequently you activate the light body around you, the less you have to do it consciously. Because as long as you keep it active and activate it, you'll stay in that state. You don't have to consciously think about it to create it. It'll just become your natural state of being, Let it. Create those alpha waves. And your aura will be just as active as your natural state, like small children, being joyful and being blissful all the time, every day, 24/7. When my grandsons came to visit, my wife Paula said, don't they ever stop? Because we had gone to the beach, we had done something, we had gone to play putt-putt. We got home and she settled down, wanting to watch some TV and just rest. And they were wanting me to get the hot tub ready for them to jump into. And then as soon as they got out of the hot tub, they wanted to color pictures. They wanted me to print off coloring pictures. And she said, no, isn't it time to rest? I said, no, not yet, not yet. She said, they don't ever stop. I said, no. I said, this was my life with 2 boys for 20 years. This was my life. You know, and now it's my life with grandsons, and it's so blissful and so joyful when you allow it to be. So as you begin to live in your heart day to day, the more present you become. You shift into a place of peace and calm. You shift into a place of compassion and kindness. Even my fellow fire signs, I'm a Sagittarius, and I know you know, I can feel my fire rise up on occasion. I can spark a pretty quick reaction to something. And then I remember there's a little light switch I have control over. There's a little switch. I can flip that switch and I can stop. I can stop what I'm doing, take a breath, open my heart, and choose to live in the moment, choosing to respond rather than react. Choose to shift reality day to day, moment to moment. Let the awakened heart change your reality and you change the world. Everyone around you can feel it. They know it. They can feel it. When you're radiating from an awakened heart, everybody around you sees it. They see your halo. All of a sudden it's, oh, Reverend Kimberley, you look so good today. Why do you look so good today? It's because I'm radiating from an awakened heart. And we all have that halo. We just have to activate it. Even the most damaged, the most compromised person that we are dealing with, maybe at the DMV, maybe at the grocery store, maybe at the bank, maybe somewhere out on the street, and you encounter someone who's stuck in the muck of a lower vibration. They can't seem to get out. They'll feel it. And you know what? They will respond to it. They will respond to your vibration by raising their vibration. And then you will have shifted their perspective just a tiny bit. And that's all it takes. That is all it takes. In your heart, there is that still small space and a sacred space. It's a homecoming, a journey to unity consciousness. The more frequently you journey there, the more automatically you respond from the heart and from your sacred space. So in closing, I'm going to say, the more we awaken as a collective, the more impact we have on the world, the more we inspire and affect change in the community. That's why I love our Neighbor to Neighbor campaign, our Neighbor to Neighbor initiative. We've never decided which is correct. Neighbor to Neighbor initiative, Neighbor to Neighbor campaign. So when you hear us say it, you know what we mean. That was created organically from a conversation with Bill Thomas in an authentic desire to truly make a difference in the world, to make a difference in our world. We are collectively changing our world, making a difference in our community, and we are doing it neighbor to neighbor, hand to hand, kindness to kindness. Changing the world, it's not a lofty ideal or a flighty, unrealistic goal. We are changing the world one neighbor at a time through unity consciousness and our awakened hearts collectively. A ripple is a wave of energy that has an epicenter that radiates out, wave after wave. I say, let this community be the epicenter of the ripple. Thank you for being a neighbor and showing up with your awakened heart. And so it is.